right, so some tips for this particular lick. There's a lot of actual push motions, which we normally try to avoid, but here it leads to some interesting motions. So the first one is in the second bar, those two scrapes. To get that push motion, whenever that happens, a lot of times you need to start moving a lot sooner than you think that you need to. What happens is somebody might play this and then try to attack that really late, but it's really hard to change directions when you do that. So we want to make sure we get moving a little bit sooner to make that happen. All right, tip number 2. In this particular motion, we have a lot of fluidity that we need, and when we're changing directions, what can get in the way is if this wrist shape starts to break left or right. So what I want to try to do is control these stabilizing muscles a little bit more. So again, in that same reference we used in number 1, I have 2 scrapes and then a paradiddle figure, and I have to change directions right there. But if I let my arms get a little bit too loose, I start to take up a lot of room on the drum. That's going to be a lot more difficult with some of those more advanced rounds. Tip number 3 for this one, zones. We've talked a lot about zones. If anybody knows me, I'm big on the donut method, which means anything outside of the center is fair game. So in that same chunk that we were just talking about, playing something that moves around in the middle, I get a lot more room if I just get away from myself a little bit. And then when I play the singles after that, keeping that left hand a little bit closer actually makes this around, that 5-let around at the end of that, feel a lot more comfortable. So I can kind of get the best of both worlds. I get away from my body for these scrapes, I get away from my body for the paradiddle figure, and then I get a little bit more room when I pull this left hand under back to get down the drums on the zones. I wrote it out on like a blackboard 10 years ago. Way different, but the beginning part was the same. I didn't even know what rhythm I was playing. I just wrote out the amount of notes to like figure it out. Putting this in, it was like, okay, this fits really well, and then that motion feels so good, like coming up the scrapes, coming out of that. That just, it feels so smooth. That's exactly the things that I like to play moving around, you know?